Ever ordered food online and had it show up at your door, not by a delivery person, but like a self-driving car? It's kind of wild, right? But that's the thing about AI. It's taking what used to be science fiction and making it our reality. And one of the biggest questions around this whole AI boom is what's going to happen to our jobs? Are the robots really going to take over everything?
Well, I can promise no Terminator scenarios today.
Okay, good to know, because that's a whole other deep dive. But seriously, to get to the bottom of this, we're looking at some really interesting research, like these reports from the World Economic Forum. And then there's this Oxford study. I think everyone's been talking about this one.
Yeah, that Oxford study got a lot of attention.
It did. And we're also going to look at what's happening on the ground, like with automation in China, which is moving super fast.
Yeah, and that's what makes this whole conversation so important, you know? This isn't some far-off future we're talking about. This is happening right now, and it's shaping the job market.
Yeah.
Like today. It could have a real impact on your career, what we're talking about today.
Totally. And I think that's what freaks people out a little, right? That idea of robots taking our jobs. There was that one study, I think it said almost half of U.S. jobs could be automated in the next, 20 years. That's a lot.
Yeah, 47%. It was a big number. And I get why people are concerned. But when you really dig into it, it's not like a robot's going to come for your desk and kick you out, you know? It's more nuanced than that. Okay. It's more about certain types of tasks being automated. Think about jobs with a lot of repetition, like factory work, data entry, even driving is changing with automation.
Yeah, like self-driving trucks. Tesla's working on it, Google, Uber, everyone's trying to figure that out. But then that's, 3.5 million trucking jobs just in the U.S.? That's a lot of people.
Absolutely. Huge impact. And we're seeing this happen already, actually. China's been automating its manufacturing like crazy. Productivity's way up. But yeah, it's also meant a lot of people losing their jobs. It makes you wonder, how do we handle this the right way? How do we make sure people have opportunities if their jobs do change because of automation?
So we've talked about the jobs that might disappear. That's one side of it for sure. But AI is also creating new jobs, right? Not just taking them away.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
While some jobs are being lost, AI is creating a ton of new opportunities too.
Yeah.
In fact, that World Economic Forum report we were talking about, it actually says there could be 12 million more jobs globally by 2025 because of AI.
So instead of picturing a truck driver, we should be picturing like an AI engineer.
Exactly.
And those AI engineer gigs, those are some of the highest paying out there, right? Like $130,000 a year.
That's right.
Not bad at all. But here's the other thing. Are we even ready for this? Like, is anyone actually prepared for this whole job market to completely change? It's like we're staring at this huge wave, this tidal wave of change coming right at us, and we don't even know if we've got the right surfboard. How do we even get ready for a job market that's changing this fast?
That's such a good way to put it. It's one thing to adapt to change, but the speed of this is just something else. We need a whole new approach, like how we do education, how we learn new skills. It's got to change.
So it's more than just telling everyone, okay, go learn to code.
Right. Technical skills, those are important, yeah. Knowing how to code or use different software, that's definitely going to be useful. But it can't just be that. We need to be thinking about a wider set of skills, the kind that help people adapt, no matter how fast things change.
Okay, so like what? What kind of skills are we talking about?
Think about what humans are good at, the things that are just still really hard for AI. Thinking critically, solving really complex problems, being creative. Emotional intelligence, that's another big one. And being able to work together well, collaborate.
Those so-called soft skills are starting to sound like they should be called essential skills.
You got it. Those skills, they're what's going to set people apart, especially as AI gets better at those more routine things. And it's more than just, learning a new skill here or there. It has to be about a mindset, really, a culture of lifelong learning.
Lifelong learning. Okay, I like how that sounds. But honestly, how do we make that happen? It feels a little, pie in the sky.
It takes everyone working on it, for sure.
Yeah.
Governments need to get involved, invest in the right kind of education and training programs, ones that are actually going to prepare people for this new job market. And businesses, they've got a role to play too, like with on-the-job training and creating paths for people to move up.
It's a team effort.
Totally. And there are countries already doing this well, by the way. We talked about Singapore's Skills Future program earlier. It's not just random courses. They actually figure out what skills someone has, what they're interested in, what they want to do, and they create like a personalized path for them. Even better, they give people Skills Future credits, basically money from the government to help pay for those training courses.
Wow, they're really putting their money where their mouth is, huh? They're investing in their workforce. That's pretty amazing. But even if we figure out this whole job market thing, there's this bigger issue, right? It's not just jobs. It's AI changing, well, everything, all of society.
Right. We can't forget that. AI is powerful,
Yeah.
and it has implications that go way beyond just what we do for work. It's changing the very fabric of society.
And like anything powerful, it could be really good or it could be, well, not so good.
Exactly. That's why we have to talk about ethics, about making sure AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone, not just a small group. We have to make sure AI doesn't make existing inequalities even worse.
Those are some big, important questions. So where do we even start?
We have to remember AI isn't neutral. It reflects the biases of the people who create it, the values they bring to the table.
So if we want AI that's fair, that's equitable, we need the people creating it to be diverse, their backgrounds, their experiences, everything. Makes sense. But even then, even with the best intentions, things can go wrong.
Absolutely. We're human, we make mistakes. That's why testing, being really rigorous about testing these systems,
Yep.
and then constantly checking them, monitoring them, that's essential. We have to always be making sure AI is doing what it's supposed to and not making existing biases worse.
So that's a lot of responsibility on the people making these AI systems. It's like we're building the plane as we're flying it, creating this powerful technology, and we're still figuring out all the rules as we go.
Yeah, it's a really good analogy, and that's why we need everyone talking to each other, working on this together. Ethicists, the people making policy, the tech people, everyone's got to be at the table to make sure this is done right.
So it shouldn't just be like a few big companies in Silicon Valley making all the decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This affects everyone, so everyone needs to be part of the conversation. Because honestly, it's not just about work.
Yeah.
Right? It's about the whole future, what kind of world we want to live in.
So what can people do? Like the average person, it's easy to feel like, I don't know, this is all happening to us, Like we don't have a say.
People ask me that all the time. And I always say, don't underestimate how important it is to just stay informed, be curious, ask questions, don't just accept what you hear, and make your voice heard. Contact your representatives, support organizations that are working on ethical AI. Those conversations matter.
So no burying our heads in the sand.
Nope.
We got to educate ourselves, speak up, be a part of this, demand transparency, make sure the people creating this stuff are being accountable.
All of that.
Yeah.
And it's not about being scared of the future. Progress is good. It's about making sure AI helps everyone, makes things better for everyone. It's about making sure it serves us, not the other way around.
Really well said. This has been, wow, a lot to think about, from jobs disappearing to brand new ones being created. And then, like you said, this whole other level of what it means for society, for ethics. It's clear AI isn't just some tech thing. It's changing the world in really big ways.
It really is. Big challenges, but huge potential too. And if we go into this with curiosity, working together, keeping ethics in mind, we can figure this out. We can make sure humans and AI both thrive.
Absolutely. And on that note, I want to thank you all for listening to this deep dive on the future of work. We just scratched the surface today. There's so much more to explore, but the big takeaway, the future of AI, it's not set in stone. We all get to help shape it. So let's get to work.